Well, hello there, everybody. I let that go a little bit longer because I really do like Michael Franks. I tell you, had the chance to see him in Atlanta. And anyway, so what's happening, everybody? Let's see. It says we are live. I think we are. It looks like we are. It feels like we are because we are. So, and there I am there, and everything is groovy. The bus is continuing on the journey. So, anyway, it's one of those days. I mean, we're here in a blizzard. Um, you know, love the white stuff. I mean, that's all I got to say. Hello, Linda. Good to see you. Much love to you, darling. Ronnie and Jackie and David Castle. How are you and Rufus doing? Good to see you. So many people in here. I was looking earlier and really busy. Got some new audio software. And so I've been acclimating myself to how it works, but hey, it's fun. So, Lost in Space, good to see you. Hello, Jules. DC, what's up? Ian Rex, hello. John Price, Kathy, hello. Who else did I see? I saw Kaz Hawks. How are you, my dear? Good to see you. Linda, hello. Cheryl, what's up? Scotty boy. I think I seen Beloved Abstract. Nina, how are you? Good to see you. Joyce, Feng Shui. Indeed, indeed. I love it. I know Heidi will be listening with Tony, Guy and Paul, and boy, who else is all here? Eric Sear, Gaia, what's up? Like I said, I got it. I knew it. And I think Trina will be listening, and well, Jenny, and rest of the Soul Tribe. It's just one of those mellow days. Loving it. Love waking up to over a foot of snow. I mean, it's quite beautiful. It has a certain serenity to it. Hey, go. What's happening? Good to see you. Plandemic, hello, 5630. Good to see you. Bert from Houston. I was talking to my brother there. He lives in Houston, and we were talking about the days when I lived back in the Montrose area and sundry other places. Yep, pretty cool. So, Susan, what's up? Good to see you. Romper, stomper, bumper. John, I love that. So, we haven't really paid attention to the angels of late. So, I thought, well, I'll just randomly pull two cards out of the 72. Al sent me a text today, and Karen is just doing some phenomenal work. So these cards, when they get printed, are going to be freaking awesome. That's all I got to say. Anyway, hey, Gilbert, good to see you. Yay, Rathel, Angel of Light Propagation. I love this. Patron of teachers and mentors and people who care about self-development, protector of intelligent people. You just gotta love these guys, girls, whatever. I mean, these beings are just far out. Let's see. Enthusiastic for science, literature, and arts. Encourages to improve speaking and writing abilities. Far out. Provides with wisdom, concentration, and focus. I mean, seriously, you look at these resumes and you're going, where have you been? Let's see. Bestows us with perseverance and initiative. Brings the eternal light to our lives, which is limitless supply of energy for our everyday activities and needs. This is really cool. Shows how to spread this divine energy around not only you, but to others. Symbol of life's purpose, protector of freedom, allows us to gain confidence and helps to get back a joy to our lives. shows how to integrate into society and become more civilized. Not like we can't use a little bit of that these days. Brings sociability, optimism, and positive atmosphere. Teaches maturity and balance, dispels chaos, protector of justice, offers us victory when confronting your adversaries, fights against slander and evil, prevents from people with bad intentions impacting you. I love this angel. I mean, big hugs all around, right? Let's see. Cures compulsive actions, hyperactivity, and fantasism. Helps to get rid of addiction and perverted habits. Heals flattery, egoism, and emphasis on appearance. Wow. Boom, baby. That's all I got to say. Kaboom. Boy, the best day to contact this angel is coming up on April 16th. And then randomly pulling the next card, I pull this one. Poel. You know, love this angel. Talk to this angel quite a bit. I know some people in the soul tribe who have written me emails that they got a very like one-to-one relationship with this angelic. And Poel is the angel of fortune and support. It is the God sustaining everything, patron of renown and celebrity, protector of positive thinkers, brings fortune and wealth on every level to our life, helps to express yourselves clearly and simply, allows us to find new ideas connected with self-development, turns materialistic lifestyle into a spiritual one, symbol of luck, hope, power, and knowledge, bestows us with modesty, empathy, simplicity, and humility, fills us with energy to create a good atmosphere, teaches how to be altruistic. I love that. Shows how to fix financial problems, teaches us how to change our behavior if we have a materialistic ideology or lifestyle, provides with optimism and is a good sense of humor, protects from the absence of happiness, brings a smile on our face, liberates from destitution and all problems relating to lack of income or prosperity. Boom, shakalaka, baby. That's all I got to say about that. Boom. Hey, Janie, good to see you. And Source Frequency got your message and sent that wonderful package to you. So, hey, Big Al, what's happening? Project Skyfall is in the room. I think Robert V, did I see in there anyway? It's kind of hard to see, two different things. So, got this huge new monitor in front of me. I mean, it's got this latest technology of takes away the that blue light, or so they say. That confounded blue light. Yes. Blinded by the light. That's all I got to say. All right. So is there an angel of Let's Rumble, Chains and Sticks? Actually, Scotty boy, I think they all can, let's say, they're not just saints. You know that, right? These are bad mother. You know it. Listen, if you study this from a certain perspective and point of view, these angelics have no problem slaying humans. Don't think twice about it. Just one is recorded to have slaughtered 180,000 soldiers in one night, including livestock, every living thing. Could you imagine walking up and seeing that? As far as your eye could see, you see nothing but the opened bodies of humans that have been splayed open by an angelic being who did that. And so the word says, I didn't write the book. I mean, and who knows if it's true or not, but the story says it did that in less than an hour. That's a bad MF. That's all I got to say. The same beings. Yeah. And people want to say that the demons are bad. I can't find one story where a demon ever slayed one human, but I can tell you many stories about angelic slaying lots of humans. So I guess it just depends on your point of view, doesn't it? But hey, I could be wrong. Who knows? But again, so why Enoch described angels as ugly? Because let's just talk about this. Do you know what a seraphim is? That's with an S. Do you know what they are? Well, if you study it from the Kabbalah or from Judaism, which then bled into Christianity, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, these are pretty ugly. They're monsters to us, to a human. They're grotesque. I mean, the seraphim are heads of snakes. They're reptilians. You have one angel that its wings are filled with living eyes. It sees everything. I mean, you can just go on to the description of these creatures. They're far more grotesque than what Hollywood ever made any demon to be. I wonder why that is. So thanks for hitting up the like button. Yeah, you got to feed the machine, feed the algorithm. We love it. And this group, I'm not going to say anything until it continues, but what a phenomenon that's going on. Everything is backwards, and also the God of the Bible orders angels to yes. What a conundrum. You got the so-called 10 laws, right? Thou shalt not kill. I mean, it's not ambiguous, right? Thy shalt, S-H-A-L-T, which we get the word shall, not, nit, no, kill. But yet, I don't know. I got that strange book in there, the book of Joshua. That's a bloody ass book. I mean, atrocities that today would be considered war crimes, crimes against humanity. So I don't get this thing. So you got these laws, right? Now you says, thou shalt not kill, but yea, saith the Lord, thou shalt go into the Canaanites, and thou shalt commit murder, rape, infanticide, genocide, and do it all in the name of God of the Bible. Do it all in the name of Jesus. I don't know. Am I missing something here? I mean, here I am sitting on the Group W bench. God's a crazy man. They're crazy. So we've got a lot of new people stopping in, and thank you. They're writing emails. And the reason why I say this, within the last, 8 days, new listeners stumbled across the Soul Tribe. A couple are coming out of, they're in the deprogramming point, and so they have a lot of questions. They hear us talk about Lilith. They hear us talk about the goddess. These are new things. They haven't really heard them spoken, really haven't heard them much taught on, except from a very anti-feminist, feminine perspective. So they go, how do you know the God of the Bible had a wife? I looked at this, it's been over 5 years ago. 5 years ago, where, in fact, let's just do it from refreshing. I mean, this is class. You never stop learning. It's like working Excel. There was a time I was considered expert level at Excel. I haven't used it in years, and it's amazing how you kind of lose some of the finesse that you had. So, okay, that's interesting. Always interesting when you're getting something in the old headphones going, what? This is like St. Patrick's Day. Grace, it is. I think that's what it is. We're celebrating a murder day, and he killed so many for religion and make him a saint. And get this, not only was he a saint by this God, right, but everybody gets drunk. That's debauchery. And if you get drunk and you're in debauchery, you are going to fall in lasciviousness. Holy shit. Lasciviousness? I ain't shitting about that one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just, because everything makes so much sense here, right? That's crazy, man. So y'all remember this. Good presentation, by the way. Yeah, I was the one who did it. So let's get this up here. There we go. Got to give it a little time to catch up. So y'all remember this one. Meet Mrs. God, Ashroth, Lilith. See, this is the other aspect of Lilith. In some writings, Lilith was Yahweh's, Jehovah, which would then really make Lilith Jesus's mother. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that shit. So I love this one. Historiesvanishedgoddess.com. The goddess is coming back, and she's pissed. Uh-oh. These stories, yeah, you find them on ancient pottery. This is Ashroth. Lilith. This is Mrs. God, the goddess. Yep. Again, very well documented. Ashroth and Yahweh. So for those of you, and I'm speaking specifically to a couple, you can begin to see that Lilith is the mother creator. I mean, the figurines that have been unearthed, and by the way, the Vatican and virtually every museum have taken great strides to destroy these extremely valuable reminders of where humanity came from. Thank goddess that there were at least some, mostly men, who got their head out of their ass and realized that they were complicit if they destroyed the evidence in one of the greatest deceptions on modern man. Modern man, by the way, is ignorant. We're nothing more than talking monkeys. If you put, I'll make a challenge out there. I would take any PhD of the modern era and put them up against a layman of the ancient Grecian culture, empire. That ancient Grecian layman would kick the PhD's ass because he would look at the PhD and say, "You're one dumb son of a bitch." You doubt me? Listen, the language that they quote unquote say that the New Testament was written in doesn't exist anymore. But this is Lilith, Ashtaroth, and Yahweh. They don't teach this in Sunday school. Again, more representation of Ashtaroth, Lilith. It's interesting that her image was inside of the Ark of the Covenant. There are a lot of people who don't want to hear that. What was her image doing on the inside of the Ark of the Covenant? Supposedly. No one's ever seen this architect, this artifact. We're told that it existed in Ethiopia, the Nag Hammadi. The stories are legendary. The inscriptions, this is the Pythos. This is Amonanu said to my Lord, "Are you in peace? I bless you by Yahweh of Timon and by the Ashtaroth. May he bless you and keep you and be with you, my Lord." To Yahweh of Timon and Ashtaroth, all what he requires of a man to act with compassion, and Yahweh will give him according to his heart. The fragments of that plaster, which we saw, and this is what no different than what the Dead Sea Scrolls are. I mean, sometimes they take one little piece of word and tell you it's a whole freaking mini book. But anyway, may the days be long and may they be satisfied, always with Asherah, Yahweh of Timon and Asheroth, Yahweh of Timon again, and the Asheroth favored. There's that word favored. Goes back so far back. I mean, and if you ever discover the power of favor, yeah. Again, some of the translations from the Old Negrov in the Hebrew worshipers translation, a gift of Yah from Yah to the assembly, give this shaking worshiper in fear to exist. Really interesting about these gods, this God that everyone in the world worships. All the ancient people were scared. Yeah, I'll just say it. They were scared crapless by this deity. If this deity did exist and did in fact appear to these nomadics, these tribal cultures, who knows what they were really dealing with? Ancients? I don't know. Here is out of the Sumerian text, the Art Athratu, the great lady, official consort of the head of the pantheon El. Further, it said, the great goddess, the holy one, mother of all minor gods, the 70 sons of Ashtaroth, mother, wet nurse of the king. Inanna. So this has not been hidden. It's out there. People just don't listen. The church and all the Abrahamic religions are never going to acquiesce to this. Never. Because the minute they acknowledge that Ashtaroth, Lilith existed, their whole belief system crumbles. You completely destroy all 2/3 of the world religions. Again, these are the interpretations, translations. Said Yahweh the king, say to Yahael, and to Yoasha, and to I blessed you by Yahweh of Tamanan and by Ashroth. More images of her. Changes the whole dynamics of let us create man in our image. What image are we talking about? That's the question. Here is again Yahweh on the left, Ashroth on the right, and in between the two, this is very significant, and it is here, it is saying that they're creating us. As you can see, the double serpent, which is representing the double helix, which is our DNA. This is being created by both the male and the female. Another interpretation of the modern view, and I accept the modern view just as well as the ancient view. If we're supposedly progressing, well, I'm sure her image would progress. These are images of Baal, Yahweh El, Megiddo, all the same. Some say that Baal and Yahweh are brothers. There is one story that says that Yahweh's treatment of Ashroth enraged Baal. And this is where the great battle of the two supposedly began. Again, where is Athrosh? This is Manifest. This is Ashroth, the idol, was found in the temple. The Lord had said to David and his son Solomon about the temple, I will be worshiped forever in this temple and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen from all the tribes of Israel. Solomon made numerous Ashroths in worship and acknowledgement to her. Maybe that's why, I don't know, Solomon, he had a big sexual appetite there. The shocking discoveries continue to be made that Yahweh is a false god. Side note from Anonymous, even if you try to make Yahweh into you, you still have a pagan god with an Ashroth wife. All you are doing is changing the pronunciation from Yahweh to Liu, and it gets you nowhere. What you are doing is adding another layer of perversion on top of Yahweh. And if you've studied Baal, Moloch, particularly how the 12 tribes of Israel, it's disturbing when you realized these people, the Hebrews, the Jews, their pagan customs of the sacrifice to Baal, or in this case, Moloch, it is on a level of barbarity that you and I can't comprehend it. It is so offensive to the very thought of us, our core being, that a group of human beings would build a brass idol that stood approximately about 10 feet tall, and the top of it had hands outstretched with this same figure, Baal, Moloch, and underneath him, they built a furnace. And as the furnace began to heat up, well over a couple thousand degrees, the very hands of Moloch would begin to glow. And this is where they would put the newborns. Many times they would actually cut the fetus right out of the mother's womb. One of the facts that cannot be refuted is that Yahweh is a God who has a consort, a wife, who, and you can Google it, it's there. This carries all the way over into the Egyptian culture. Because why? Well, the Egyptian culture was as much of an influence on the Hebrew culture, the Israelites, as were the Mesopotamians, Babylonians, Canaanites, Hittites, Perusites, etc. Yahweh's Wife, Sex and the Evolution of Monotheism. This is a great book. The Study of Yahweh, Ashtaroth, and the Ritual Sodomy and Temple of Prostitution, Women in History. And it's one of the weirdest things about, because you can read it right in the book of Genesis, and it's throughout the Old Testament, is where Yahweh was at. They would have temple prostitutes. Completely legal. Weird. Why? We have been told that this was a story about being cast out. Actually, it's a story about Lilith trying to redeem and rescue her creation that was taken captive by Yahweh. This whatever you want to call it. Again, these figurines go way back. Why? Because what is the point here? The point is our ancestors worshiped the divine feminine more than they worshiped the male, the masculine. Again, Lilith, Ashtaroth, however you want to do it, the names through the history has all been changed. It's almost like watching the story of, Dragnet, the names of the people. And again, many of you can see the symbols here. Yahweh's wife, she existed. Goddess, mother, creator, all here. Very heavily in the Canaanite, which the Canaanite and the Hebrews shared cross cultures. And then you get this whole thing that's coming up here next month, Easter. Well, Easter in English is Esther, which is in the Anglo-Saxon, which is Ishtar in the Babylonian, Ashtaroth in the Hebrew, and Ashtarte in the Greek. Ashtarte is in the Phoenician and the Greek of the fertility goddess. The Asheroth is the Hebrew name for the Canaanite fertility goddess. Ishtar is the Babylonian fertility goddess, and Ishtar is the Anglo-Saxon fertility of goddess. So this day that everyone celebrates as a holy day of supposedly the resurrection is really nothing more but an erection. It's exactly what it is. You are to be erect, the males. And then the females have their obligation as the temple to receive the offering from the erection. That's what Easter is. It's not some holy day. It's about sex. Hey, why they call it the name? Blessed be the Urawa by Yahweh and by his Ashtaroth and by his Ashtaroth and by his Ashtaroth. Again, all here. This is the only picture of Yahweh, they say, in existence. This picture was the depiction of what Elijah saw. And it's quite interesting that if this is what Elisha saw, it's different. A lot of interpretation. But, and again, there's the original. So I love going through this because this is, give me 1 second here, so It makes sense. But in the modern era, we've changed it, we've morphed it, we've adapted it to our modern day beliefs, and we're constantly adding to it. But it's not, and you think about it, paganism is alive and well in all religions, and Christianity specifically, because Christianity is the result of paganism. And so when you think about it, we get our children, we tell them the bunny rabbit is going to leave surprises. Well, that bunny rabbit is actually an ancient deity of Roman essence. And you think about it, so you go out and you do the Easter egg hunt. That dates back way before Christianity ever adapted it. But now it's incorporated as part of the ritual because everything is very holy. When I raised money for the NASCAR teams, NASCAR is one of the few sports that will not race on Easter Sunday. They just won't. You know, can't do that. It's sacrilegious. It's where we get the blue laws from. Same thing, same custom. That comes from the 7-day thing. The seventh day God rested. Well, why would a God need to rest? Maybe because he didn't actually create anything. Julie, that is cool. I'm going to share that. Julie says, Christianity is the Borg. Resistance is futile. So I have something here. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, I do, right there. So to show you how this whole thing that we look at today in culture, no one studies where this came from. And really, when you think about it, this is a white paper on a thesis on the sex god. And, you have the term Jezebel. You, back in my day, when I was very much involved in Christianity, you would hear she has the spirit of Jezebel, a whore. And you look at this because the great whore of Babylon plays a major role in the so-called book of Revelation. But here's the strange part about it. As I said earlier, modern man is just a little bit above the talking monkey. We got our toys. We're not real smart. We're really dumb. We're smart dumb. I guess that's what it would be because, again, we have no idea the illusion that we've been dumbed down to. Why do you worship a god at all? Why would a god want to worship? Why? The goddess doesn't want worshipers. But anyway, so in this particular one, I'm not going to go through it. I'm just going to get in this little point because there's some real interesting points. It says in the preliminary studies provided by the framework for the main inquiry, historical anchorage is attained in the echoes and illusions of the beast from the sea of the abyss to Emperor Titus and the satanic trio and their cult, Revelation 13, to the Flavian dynasty. Why is this so freaking important? Who are the Flavians? I hope that, I can't see in the chat, but I hope that and I'm going to go back and see that there's at least someone who really know who the Flavians were. And if you studied, you'd understand the relationship between the Flavians, the Herods, and the Alexandrians. They are probably master geniuses because what they created, we're living. So the Flavian dynasty, who was Flavian? Vespasian? Y'all remember Vespasian? He actually did really live. You see, if Jesus actually did live, here's the problem. Herod was known throughout the known world, particularly with Rome, that he had a mandate, a law, that all of his subjects, all children from the age of 4 to the age of about 15, 16, all went to school. They knew mathematics. They knew how to read and write. They were taught the arts. Now, what did Herod build? One of the 7 wonders of the world, Caesarea, the port of Caesarea. We can't duplicate it today. So in this same kingdom, who is educating his entire subjects of his kingdom, so you have this cat called Vespasian, and we know Vespasian existed. Why? Well, because we got actual drawings of him. We've got an actual bust of him and his exploits that he did through all Judea. But we do not have a single drawing. And let's talk about the drawings real quick, because you know what they found on the road from Rome to Jerusalem, because Jerusalem was, a connecting point for the Silk Road. You know what they found along the way, the Roman road? Well, number one, they had cantinas, little restaurants. People were entrepreneurs back there, but they also were avid drawers. We are today. And those drawers, those people that were walking along that road, they would draw things, as people do. And the interesting thing of what the archaeologists have found, you know what they found on the graffiti of those walls? Pornography. Apparently, man loves tits because we know how to draw them. We draw them on everything. So my point to all this is, so you're in a city, Jerusalem, population roughly almost, 250,000 people, would swell to well over 1 million on the high holy days. And yet you had this guy walking around spouting all these wise things, supposedly doing all these miracles. And in this group of people, they're educated. They're artisans. There's craftsmen. And within all this group, you did not have one person that would take chalk, charcoal, parchment, and draw a picture of what he looked like. How did that happen? I mean, it certainly would completely solve the great question, did he or didn't he? Yeah. Anyway, I digress, I know. So getting back to the Flavians, it says, to the Flavian dynasty and the cult, chapter 3, a real crisis for Christians is seen late in Domitian's time, involving pressure from the Flavian provincial, excuse me. The widespread false accusations, or, the lies, the propaganda, and the pressures from Domitian's rigorous extraction of the Jewish tax. These matters are seen to implicate both Jewish and Gentile Christians. The figure of the beast, the social pressure from the imperial cult, and the vulnerability of Christians reflect in these preliminary studies contribute to a fuller understanding of the anti-Judaistic polemic. The point to all this is, you see, no one realizes that this was a religion of the Flavians, a master plan. All right, so I have another book, and I'm running out of time. This one is a great one. It's It's exactly what it says. It's an encyclopedia of the women's encyclopedia of myths and secrets. If you are a true seeker of knowledge, particularly where the goddess is concerned, this is one. I'm going to get the book itself, because this is one I want in my library. I'm going to have a lot of fun learning in this one. Kind of gives you, excuse me, how's your eyesight these days, huh? Let's see. There is so much that we are all have been under such spells. Gives you some of the questions here. Who was the original Holy Trinity? How did the middle finger become a phallic symbol? Think about it. Oh, I can't, because this would become a little bit more, how should we say, for mature audiences only. Why is it bad luck to break a mirror? What was the real Easter bunny? I gave you the clue on that one. Why did Jesus curse the fig tree? Wait a minute. Why is he cursing anything? Why do people kiss under the mistletoe? Well, that's one. Okay. What was meant by Lucifer's fall? You know, the story that we're given there in Isaiah and in Ezekiel is made up crap. Yeah. Thank you. Anyway, why was Jesus's tomb attended only by women? Why was Muhammad's daughter called her father's mother? Fatima. Why did Rome fall? Was there a real Saint Peter? And if there was, why was he married? I don't know. Why did we not ever hear about his wife? And if he was married, it meant that he had children. Why were women made to cover their heads in church? Well, that was because of Paul. Paul was a sick son of a bitch. Remember, they had a problem there in Corinth. In fact, it was of such it was of such a nature that it was appalling. Y'all know what the problem was at the church in Corinth? Well, they had the sex thing going on. And so what you had was a dude, a father, who married another woman, and we don't know why. But what we do know was that father had a son, not by the new wife. And it seemed when father was away, son and stepmom, they did the nasty. Did it, apparently, quite frequently. Apparently they had a lot of problems in that area. Homosexuality, there was another one. But anyway, yeah. Had the old nasty going on in families. Why did early Christians outlaw marriage? Why did King Arthur try to kill babies? Was there a female pope? What was the real meaning of fairy tales? So it's all in this book. Says our culture has been deeply penetrated by the notion that man, not woman, is created in the image of God. This notion persists despite the likelihood that the creation goes in the other direction, that God is a human projection of the image of man. No known religion, past or present, ever succeeded in establishing a completely sexless deity. Hadn't thought about that. Worship was also accorded either a female or a male. Occasionally, a sexually united couple or an androgynous symbol of them. But deities had a sex just as people had a sex. The ancient Greeks and others whose cultures accepted homosexuality naturally worshipped homosexual gods. Hello, Hermes. Hey, Thoth. Homosexuals. I did got a lot of heat on that one. I said, is God a homosexual? By all the evidence is yes. Oh, people wrote and said, well, no, he's he's asexual. No, it's very evident that he is a homosexual. Apparently, he has a psychosis where the female sex organs, genitalia, is concerned. Oh, don't like talking about this. Modern Christians take it for granted that they must revere the figures of a father and a son, never perceiving divinity in corresponding mother and daughter's figures, as the ancients did. Though Catholics still worship the goddess under some of her old pagan titles, such as Mother of God, Queen of Heaven, Blessed Virgin, and so on, their theologians refuse to admit that she is the old goddess in a new disguise and paradoxically insist on her non-divinity. The oldest concept of the female Holy Trinity ruling all cycles of creation, birth, and death in her virgin mother and crone forms was destroyed by Christian attacks on her temples, her scriptures, her rituals, and followers. You see, what I'm teaching this right day, they'd have come into my home and drug me out and just, tried to butcher me. I'd have taken many of them with them, but anyway, I digress. The church declared from the first that the great goddess, whom Asia, and all the world worship, must be despised and her magnificence destroyed. Acts 19:27. This is virtually the only gospel tenet that churches followed through all their centuries with no deviation or contraction or contradiction. It seemed necessary to hide the fact that Christianity itself was an offshoot of Middle Eastern goddess worship skewed by the asceticism of Persia and India. See Jesus Christ. As a salvation cult, early Christianity based its scheme on redemption on the premise of female wickedness. Salvation was needed because there had been a fall brought about by the archetype woman. Without the myth of Eve's defiance, there would have been no sin, hence no need for salvation or a savior. Fathers of the church declared that the original sin was perpetuated through all generations by every woman, through sexual conception and birth giving. Women's mysterious, devilishly sexual magnetism seduced men into the conspicuous that even within lawful marriage transmitted the taint of sin to every man. So said St. Augustine, and the church never altered his opinion. Wow. Well, Soul Tribe, ain't that special? So, by the very act of sex, you see, this is why homosexuality is far more preferred than heterosexual, because the belief system is that if I am merely a preferred sex of my own kind, you can't contaminate me with the sin. Oh, this gets weird, doesn't it? But there you go. So if you want the book, let me know. It is a humdinger. I didn't write this stuff. They did. I'm just reading it. My, what a weave. What is it? What a deception we weave when we first try to deceive. Austin Space says, my blood says I'm related to Saint. Bottom line, Grace, they hate women. Thank you. It's so freaking obvious. And if a person cannot recognize it for what it is, they just don't want to see it. They like it the way it is. And yet we still dance to the same siren. And a wicked deception it is too. Yes, it's true. Oh yes, that says, oh, what a tangle web we weave when we first practice to deceive. Thank you, David. That is how it is. Yeah. So, to me, that's all the evidence I need. I don't need to have proof that a goddess actually exists. They did the work. Their actions prove that they were afraid of something. I keep saying this. And if you're afraid of something, that means it has a greater power than yourself. And boy, did they put this on. Look at what gets me is that depending on which point of view you come from, thousands of years. Today, I don't think we really know what sex is about. I think whatever it truly was, I'm reading some books now that say that there were people who understood that when two life beings come together in this most sacred act, you can do it all the time, but it's still a sacred act. That great energy is being created on a level that we can't perceive. That's why most dig sex. Kama Sutra. Okay. So what a show. So for the one that the two that sent the email, there is how we know that there's a goddess. They took great steps, a lot of effort to saying, let's move her out of the picture. You got to think that, yeah, I bet she is pissed. It's like, hey, wait a minute. I created that. I did all the work, and now you're taking all the credit? And you say you own all this? Yeah, I think she's pissed. I'd be pissed too. You're welcome, Susan. I appreciate that. It's the truth. I mean, and it's good for a refresher course. Lilith, she's not bad. She's really not. She's just been misunderstood, maligned, slandered. I'm telling you, slandered, defamation of character. I mean, they just put the big whoop ass on her. Thank Jules. Yeah, it is, Jules, isn't it? It is a lot of funny we get these spicy topics, because what always happens, no matter how you bring this in, you're going to have, number one, the dichotomy between male, female, but eventually you get it into sex. I mean, it's all about sex. Maybe that's where Lilith hid that divine spark, was in the orgasm. I don't know. I know this is a little more mature adult subject matter, but yet we don't want to talk about it in mixed circles, but yet it's the very thing that most people will actually do. I mean, if you're in a service or a ritual, yeah, you know, I don't know. There you go, Isby. Yeah, she never was. She's a beautiful gal. I mean, you look at womanhood and the beauty that the feminine brings. That's reflective of her. So anyway, so Guy says, I like our creation with intellectual property. They steal because they cannot create. You're absolutely right. They did. They stole the IP, Gaia. They really did. Them sons of bitches. They stole it. And then they make credit for it. I mean, why else would this God of the Bible say it's jealous and vengeful? What has it got to be jealous of? And who does it got to be jealous of and be vengeful for? Maybe because it knows it did something wrong. She's going to kick your ass. That's all I got to say. Hey, Dennis, what's up? Well, that's cool, Dennis. That is cool. I'm just kind of pointing out to the obvious. I mean, yeah. I mean, even the Jesus dude, they say he hung out with all 12 guys. Listen, I got a lot of male friends, but hanging out 24/7 for over 3 years together, something weird about that. That's all I got to say. Maybe it's just me, but something weird. All right, folks, I went way over. I'll see you. I don't know if the ladies are coming on or not. If the ladies would like to, let me know. If not, you'll see me. Hey, Tina Bop, thank you. So off we go. Mm-hmm. We're off to see the wizard. Actually, we're not seeing the wizard anymore. We're seeing the wizardess. We're seeing the one who really knows what's really going on. So come on board. This is where the bus is heading. We're on our way. All right. I don't know, Nina. I don't know if the ladies would like to come on. Let me know. And if they are, well, you'll see us. If they don't come on, then you'll see me. Kind of either or. Anyway, have yourself. I am working on the Steiger Perspective now. I hope to have it posted tonight. So, yeah, I had it recorded actually going, and then there was an interruption. But that's how life is. So that is the goal. Enchante, shante, shante, beloved abstract. I would agree. All right, folks, much love to you. And I am prepared for tomorrow. All right. So the ladies are coming on. Okay, far out, that's what'll happen then. All right, Soul Tribe, peace and victory. That's what I say. Victory in our time, because we're kicking some ass. That's all I got to say. All right, namaste, everyone. Bye-bye.